Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the next video. So in today's video we are going to discuss about part 2 of Capgemini Psudo Codes. So in my previous video I have discussed about possible questions, the part 1 of this video. So there I have discussed 10 questions guys, right? So these are the questions which are actually asked in the Capgemini Psudo Code round. So you know that this is the most important round for Capgemini. If you clear this round, then you are almost done with the recruitment process. So you will be 80% in, right? So you just need to crack this first Capgemini pseudocode round, and yes, there will be 40 questions totally which will be asked for, which will be completely depending on the pseudocodes itself. So there will be some problems and there will be some theory type questions, but yes, so overall they will be of type pseudocode, where they will be giving 4 options and 1 code. So you need to predict the output of that code. Fine. So in the same series, if you have not seen my previous video, you can just check it out guys. I have already uploaded 10 questions of this series. Fine. So in this video again I will be going to discuss 10 to 15 questions, and again in third video 10 to 15 questions. So like this I have created one playlist where I will be covering all the questions related to Capgemini itself. So if you have not seen that one, then just check out the description guys, you will get the link for playlist there. Alright, so enough intro. Now let us start with our first question for today's session. So the question says something like this: select the correct statement regarding the constructors. So there are 4 statements, and you need to select the one which is correct. Fine. So first statement, if I just read it out: if a class doesn't have a constructor, the Java compiler automatically creates a default constructor during compile time. Fine, so it's correct, because if you don't give a constructor, then Java will, or the compiler will already, by default it will give a default constructor to initialize the variables. So that's true. Okay, so next go to the second option: a constructor cannot be abstract, or it cannot be static, or neither it can be final. Yes, so a constructor cannot be abstract because we need to have some variable initialization in that one, and any abstract method will not be having any body, so it cannot be abstract. And it cannot be static because each time object is created it will be getting called. And also it cannot be final because it needs to be changed, right? So if it is final, then we cannot change the implementation of that one. So that's why second option is also true. Now a constructor can be overloaded but cannot be overridden. Yes, so constructor can be overloaded, that means we can change the type of parameters inside the constructor, but we cannot change the implementation of the constructor. So this is also true. And now the fourth one: the default constructor initializes instance variables with default values. So that's true guys. If you have got default constructor, and that will initialize whatever the variables are present with the default values. Like if it is a int variable, it will initialize to 0. If it is a character, it will initialize to the null, it will initialize. Then if it is a like floating point value, it will be initialized to 0.0, right? So all of them are correct. So that's why the answer is all of the above are correct statements. So this is the answer guys. Okay, so this is how you have to read the question and you have to answer them. Fine, now let us move to the next question. So here we go. Here is the code guys, and we need to predict the output of this code. Okay, so just carefully analyze the codes guys, because they are somewhat tricky. So you need to understand them thoroughly, then only you have to mark the answer. So first of all, whenever a pseudocode is given to you, just check whether the main method is correctly defined or not. So here you can see public static void main string arguments. So it is proper here, main method is good, no worries. Okay, so now let me just use this ink. Yes, it is perfect. Okay, so class string, there is one class whose return type is string and whose name is demo. After that, public static void main string arguments create a string. So there we are creating one string. The name of the string is greet and it contains hello, and the name of the another string is name and its contents are Smita. Okay, so join two strings. Now we are joining the two strings here. So note that whenever we join two strings, always whatever is present on the right hand side will be get concatenated with the left hand side. So here on the left hand side we have got greet. So greet is containing this one, HELLO, and there is exclamatory mark, and note that there is some space as well. So some space will be there. After that we said concatenate. So concatenate is basically combine, or it is equivalent to adding two strings. So if I combine these two and greet and name contains Smita, so I'll be having here Smita. Okay, so that means yes, it is recording fine. So hello Smita will be the output, guys. And if and here also I have got another string, that is joint string. First I have to print, after that greet I have to string. So that means joint string colon hello Smita will be the output. Let me just see the options. So here you can see the first option is itself the answer. Joint string colon hello, and after that some space, after that Smita. So here you see joint string hello exclamatory mark is missing, so this is wrong. Joint string only hello is there, this is also wrong. Joint string Smita is there, this is completely wrong. So that's why the answer is this one, guys. Fine. So that is it. Okay, so like this you have to analyze the question line by line. Fine. So now let us move to the next question. Okay, so what is the best reason for using string builder instead of string? Yes, guys, so this is very important and it's a kind of theory question. So you might have studied like string builder is there, string buffer is there, and normal string is there. So the difference between string builder and string buffer is only that what we have learnt in our classes is that string is immutable. That means we cannot change once it is declared, but string builder and string buffer are mutable. That means we can change the same string again and again. But yes, believe me, there is lot to study about string builder and string buffer. That is not the only difference, guys. Let me just explain. So see guys, let us say there is one string. So this is not related to this particular question, but let me just explain that one. There is string called hello. Okay, so if I just delete one element from this one, like okay, yes, I'll just delete one element from this one, then again new string will be created, new object will be created in case of only string, that will contain only hell, and its reference will be given to this one. And again if I delete these two elements, then again new memory will be allocated, and again it will create new reference, and this reference will be moving like this. If I am reversing, or if I just want to print all the objects, all the characters from this hello, then how many characters or how many objects will be created in case of string? 1 2 3 4 and 5. 5 objects, 5 different. If it is a memory, then 5 different objects will be created inside the memory of our computer, and then only it will be printing, because for each character it will create, it will store h, it will store e, l, l, o. So like this, if it is a normal string, then it will create 5 objects inside the memory and it will print. So this is why the consumption is very high, the memory consumption is very high if you are going with string. So that is the most important difference which you should quote whenever someone asks you what is the difference between string and string builder and string buffer. So the memory consumption is the difference, guys. There is no problem with, yes, I believe and I completely agree that there are a lot of predefined methods which are present on string builder and string buffer, and also it can be changed, but the change how it is happening is like this. But in case of string buffer, if you take and if you want to print all the characters from hello, then what it will be doing, just it will create one object, guys, and it will store hello inside this one. So each time you delete, it will just drop this element, and it will just remove this element, this o, from the memory, and it will keep it in the same object. That means the object will now be containing HELL. If I remove these double L's, then it will contain HE. So it will not create 5 different objects. So that's why string builder and string buffer are very efficient in terms of memory consumption. So that's the very important concept, and that is related to real life. When you work in industries, at that moment you will come to understand, oh, this string is consuming lot of memory. Fine. So at that moment you will be suggested to use string builder or string buffer. Any of them you can use. Okay, guys, now that's enough explanation regarding the difference between string and string builder. Now let us see the options. So here you can see the options. Fine. Let me just zoom in. Okay, now string builder adds support for multiple threads. Okay, then string builder can use double equal to compare values. String builder saves memory by reducing the number of objects created. String builder supports different languages and encoding. So the most suitable answer will be this one, that is memory. So reducing the number of objects. So just now I have explained, in case of string builder only one object is there. In case of string it will be having 5 objects. Fine. So this is the answer, guys. Option C is the answer for this one. Okay, so if you know the theory behind these things, then only you will be able to understand. So by the way, guys, we have created one fantastic course on Java, that is complete course, not like a crash course where we will be covering the whole course in 10 or 12 hours. So it's basically 50 hours course, guys, right? So each and everything whatever I have just explained, it's just an intro, guys. So these things I have explained in a detailed, very detailed manner. If you are a non-IT guy like mechanical, civil or electrical, or you may be from electronics, or if you are from computer science also, then just watch that complete Java session, guys, starting from core Java, advanced Java, collections, exception handling, JDBC, file handling and Spring framework. So all these things I have covered in that 50 to 60 hours is there. So just if you see that one, then you will be master of Java, guys. Believe me, the things which I am explaining right now, they are just intro, but there I have covered in very detail. Fine. So if you are interested, please watch that video. The link will be there in the description. For playlist I'll be giving the link, guys. Watch each and every video. It's basically good. Okay, fine. So now let me just go to the next question. Okay, so what will S1 contain after executing following lines of code? So this says what will S1 contain. So S1 is basically a reference variable. So string S1 is equal to 1. That means S1 is holding a string which is 1, and S1 dot concat 2. So S1 is concatenated with 2. Fine. So now if I just let me just show the options. There are these many options. 1 2 is there, 1 2 and 2 1 is there. So as of our rule, whatever we have learnt, so always the right hand side will be concatenated with the left hand side. So whatever will be there, like 1 will be there in the S1, and that will be concatenated with 2 without space, because there is no space after this here, and there is also no space here. So that's why no space 1 2. So no space 1 2 means this is the answer, guys. Fine. So like this we have to solve. Now okay, here is the question, and yes, it is pretty much lengthy, but don't worry and don't be panic whenever you see the lengthy codes. Okay, they are actually very easy. They are just written, there may be some trick will be there, so you will just need to read it carefully, then you can answer it easily, guys, believe me. Okay, so now the question is something like this. I'll just read it out, guys. There is one abstract class whose name is writer. After there is a static method whose name is write again. Note that here they have written capital W and here it is small w. So that means you have to make it a contrast, right? So there is capital W and here it is small w, and it's a public static void write, and it contains system.out.println writing. Okay, fine. There is a static method and it is saying that it is printing writing. Okay, fine. After that there is one class called author which extends writer. That means this class is basically inheriting the writer. So if a class inherits an abstract class, then either the class should be abstract or else the method should be overridden. So method overriding is taking place here, guys. Public static void write is there, the same signature is there. You can see public static void write, the implementation is changed. So here you can see, here it is like writing and here it is writing a book. Okay, now let me just go to the next part here. Okay, yes, one second, guys. Okay, fine. So public class programmer, again it inherits the writer class over here, and there is also overriding of the method public static void write, and system.out.println that is writing code is the sysout statement which is written inside programmer class. Fine. So after that main method is there, public static void main string arguments. It's fine, nothing worry about that one, no worries. After that we are creating the object of programmer class and assigning the reference to writer class. That means it is upcasting concept, right? So it is basically upcasting. Fine. So here a reference of superclass and object of subclass. At that moment, if you just call the right method, then always remember one thing, guys. Whenever you override any method, then method which has got override or overridden method will be coming. So the overridden method is this one, right method, and as we are creating the object of programmer class, that means we have created this object, and this object has got write method here, and this contains writing code as the sysout statement. So that's why the output will be writing code. So let me just go, yes, here it is in the third option. So writing code is the answer for this one. Fine. So this is how you have to analyze the question and come to the conclusion what will be the output. Okay, fine. So now let me just move to the next question. Which of the following statements are incorrect? So we need to find out which of the following are incorrect. So static methods can call other static methods. Fine. Static methods must only access static data. Okay. Static methods cannot refer to this or super in any way. When object of class is declared, each object contains its own copy of static variables. So this is wrong, guys. Okay. So whenever we declare a static, whenever a object is declared, each object contains its own copy of static variables. Let us say there is one static variable, static x is equal to 10. Fine, so this is one static variable, and let us say I have created 10 objects here. In this video I will show 3, and they may be containing some data. Here it is y, here it is z, here it is p. So p is the data. Now what they will be doing, whenever I want to access the x, then they will be going to the class in which it is present, and class dot x they will write, and they will access the data. So that means we know that static variables will be stored only once, that will be stored in the heap area, right? So here they will be stored only once, only one copy per program, and they will be accessed by all the objects whenever it is necessary. So that's why the last option is incorrect, guys. Each and every object will not be having each and every copy. That means its own copy will not be there. Same one common copy will be there, and it will be accessed by each and every object present in the program. So that's why option D will be the right answer for this one. Fine. So next one. Okay. So what will be the output of the following code? Okay, fine. Let me just show you the options as well. So options are 5 star 5 hash, 4 star 4 hash, points nothing, star and hash. Okay, good. Now let me just read out the question. What will be the output? Yeah, that's I have read already. Now class polymorphism. There is one class whose name is polymorphism, public void print pattern. So this is the method, guys, which is print pattern, and here it will be here it contains one for loop that is starting from 0 and running up to 5. So if it is starting from 0 and running up to 5, that means it is iterating for how many times? It is less than 5. Less than 5 means running up to 4. 0 to 4 is basically 5 elements. So that's why it will print 5 times whatever it is printing. Now see what it is printing. It is printing star. That means if this loop gets executed, then it will be containing 5 stars in a row, because it's just print. It's not print ln. That means it will be printing in the same line. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So like this it will print 5 stars. So for this one, guys, if it is printed in the output. Okay, now let me just go to the next part. Public void print pattern. Again, this is method overriding, guys, because here just I am changing the input parameters. Here it is not having any parameter, and here it has got character as a parameter. Fine. So public void print pattern, char symbol is the input, and the loop starts same, that is int I is equal to 0 to 5, and system.out.println. So whatever the symbol we will be passing here, that will be getting printed 5 times in the same line. That means like this. If I print at the rate, then at the rate will be printed like this 5 times in the same row. Okay, fine. So those two methods we have now gone through. Now let us go to the main class. So here is the main class and public static void main string arguments. Fine, it's not having any error. After that we are creating the object of polymorphism class. So reference variable is p1. We have created the object. After that p1 dot print pattern. So see here guys, whenever we so print pattern is basically one method. So now in the first line p1 dot print pattern, I am not passing any parameter. If you are not passing any parameter, then it will match to which method? This one, because it has got no parameters. If you pass any parameter, then it will execute this one. That is basically the fundamental concept of method overloading. So here I am not passing any parameter. In the code it is not passing any parameter. So that's why first it will call this method. That means 5 stars will be printed. Fine. After that system.out.println next line. That means after printing 5 stars like this, it will go, the control will go to next line here. Fine. After that we are now see. Here we are calling print pattern and passing one parameter, that is symbol. So this will call this method guys. Here it will be calling this method, and here I am printing hash 5 times. So that's why hash will be printed 5 times here. So like this hash will be printed. So 5 stars and 5 hashes will be printed. So let me just match it to the output. So here you can see the first output guys. So this is 5 stars and 5 hashes. So here it is 4 stars, so wrong, this is also wrong, and this is also wrong. So like this we have to analyze the problem. I hope you understood guys. If you understood this question, then yes, you are a genius guys. You are going to get a good job in the IT industry. That's the best wishes from my side as well. So just hit that like button. Yes. Okay guys, so now next thing. Okay, next question. Consider there are 3 interfaces given such as A, B, C, or A, B and C. How can you achieve multiple inheritance? So before going to the options, first of all you should understand what is multiple inheritance. There are 4 types of inheritances guys. So single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. But believe me, we all be thinking like multiple inheritance is not supported in Java due to diamond problem. Due to ambiguity, we are not able to decide which element should we copy it in our subclass. But that is applicable for class. Don't apply that concept to the interface. So here they have said that, clearly mentioned multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is applicable for interfaces. So multiple inheritance when applied on interface, it can be achieved, because inheritances are they will be called as incomplete classes, because the methods which are present inside the interfaces will be abstract methods and they will not be having any body. So it means they will not be having any data members. So if I am not having any data members, then there is no problem in inheriting multiple interfaces, because the data problem will not come there. So like this diamond problem you might have learned, right? So this is purely applicable for classes. If it is written consider there are 3 classes, then this multiple inheritance will not be supported. So don't say like you cannot achieve multiple inheritance. Optionally, intentionally they have given this question to this option to make you mark this one only. So 90% guys will be marking this one and they will be losing the marks. So don't go into that 90% club guys. Be in that 10% who will think and mark. Okay, so just follow this video. Okay guys, so now you understood that multiple inheritance can be achieved with interfaces. Fine. So multiple inheritance is very simple guys. Let us say there are 2 classes, something like this. This is class A and this is class B, and there is one another class, let us say C. So multiple inheritance is basically inheriting the properties of class A and inheriting the properties of class B as well. So arrow mark indicates it is pointing towards the superclass. For C, A is superclass, and for C, B is also an superclass. So from C, B also it is borrowing some properties, all the properties, and from A also it is borrowing all the properties. Okay, so whatever data members are there, like variables will not be there. There will be some in interface we will be having only the abstract methods, and if it is a variable also, then it will be final, that we cannot change, right? So yeah, so this is it guys. Now C should extend A as well as B, right? So C should extend, this is basically extending, and here it is also extending. So now let us match to the options. Interface C extends B and interface B extends A. No, this is not right. We can achieve by writing as interface C extends B extends A. So this is multi-level guys, because interface C will be extending B and in turn B will be. So this is something like this: A, B and C. C will extend B, B will in turn extend A. So this is basically multi-level, it is not applicable over here. And now let me just go to the third option. So it can be achieved using interface C extends BA. Yes, so this is the answer where it says that interface C will extend both B and A. So this is it guys. So this is the example for multiple inheritance. So like this, you should know the concept, then only you will be able to understand the question and you will be able to properly mark the answer. Okay, so these concepts are also explained in our playlist guys, please watch them. So the explanation which I am giving here, it is just an introduction. Believe me, I will be explaining each and everything from the scratch there. So if you don't know ABC of coding also, then you will become master in that playlist. So it is free of cost guys, and most of the guys will be thinking the free courses are not good. So the paid courses are actually the ones who are like they are the hi-fi people, they will be creating paid courses and they will be selling. But yes, we are the middle class guys and we just want to make some difference in the society. So that's why I have created that course for 45 days guys. I kept on working day and night for that course. I have created it and I have crafted it with my hands. Each and everything I have written with my own hands, like I have not copied a single line from anywhere. Okay, so each and example I have shown from the Eclipse. In Eclipse I have shown you each and every example. In normal whatever 12-hour series will be there, they will just show you one easy example, and whenever you are trying to solve these kind of questions, you will say like, no, I have not learned this one. Okay, so in depth no one will be teaching guys. Okay, it will take time, right? So that's why I have created the playlist. Please watch that one and support me. Okay, fine. The next question is guys, description. Here you can see, suppose A is an abstract class, B is a concrete class, concrete subclass of A, and both A and B have a default constructor. Which of the following is correct? Okay, so now you need to understand what is abstract class and concrete class in order to solve this one. So basically abstract class is incomplete class guys. If I say abstract ABSTRACT, not completely right, abstract class and B, so it will not be having any implementation, so it will terminate here itself. But if it's a concrete class, then it will be having open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and some statements will be written. That means abstract class is incomplete class, whereas concrete class is complete class. That means it will be having the declaration as well as the body. So in body we will be having few statements. So what they are telling, suppose A is an abstract class, B is a concrete subclass of A. So that means there is one class whose name is A, and this is an abstract class. B is concrete subclass of A. That means B is a class which is subclass of A. That means this abstract class is inherited by B. That means whatever incomplete methods are present in A, that will be inherited to B, and that should be overridden in the B class. And both A and B have a default constructor. That means A is also having a default constructor and B is also having a default constructor. Now which of the following is correct, they are asking. That means A equal to new A. That means I am having the reference of superclass and I am creating the basically this is like creating the object of a abstract class. But we know that we cannot create a object of abstract class because it's an incomplete class. So option A cannot be the answer. Then A is equal to new B. Here I am creating the object of the subclass, but I am giving the reference to the superclass. Now BB equal to new A. Here it is again creating the object of subclass, so that's why this is also not an answer. Super abstract class. Now BB is equal to new B. So here I am creating the object of subclass and assigning the reference to subclass itself. So this is also not an valid one, because I'm creating the, here I have inherited. So inheritance means we have to give the reference to the superclass, but the object should be created from the subclass itself. So here this perfectly matches with the second option. Here you can see the object is created from the subclass and reference is given to the superclass. So this is the answer, guys. Okay, fine. I hope you understood that one. And yes, so yes guys, sorry. So this is not the this is not only the answer. Yes, so the one answer is this one. And again, yes, I can create, I just got confused. This is the next question, guys. Okay, so I can create the object of subclass, and of course I can give the reference to the this one, the subclass itself, because if I create the object of subclass and give the reference to subclass itself, then I will be able to access the elements which are there in the subclass. And if I want to access the elements from the superclass as well, then I need to upcast and then I need to downcast. So that's why option 2 and option 4 are both correct, guys. Sorry, my mistake, or my bad, I can say. So that's why the 2 and 4 combination is correct here. So yes, that is the answer. Sorry for that one, guys. I just confused with the options. Okay, now let me just go to the next question. Yes, so yes, it is saying that abstract class A, there is one abstract class. Let me just show you the options as well. Okay, so there are 4 options: runtime error, 2, 0 and compile time error. Okay, fine, good. Okay, there is one abstract class A and it has got one variable int I, then abstract void display. So this is a abstract method. As I have said, it will not be having any implementation. You can see it is not having any implementation, just open close parenthesis and it is terminated. And there is class B which extends class A, that means it inherits class A, and here there is own variable, that is int j. So in class B I will be having I as well as j because it is inheriting the class A. And there is again one again, if I am inheriting the abstract class, I need to override the abstract method. So here I am overriding void display is overridden, and here it contains one thing, that is system.out.println, and I am printing j here. Okay, fine, I am printing j, so whatever j value will be there, that will be getting printed. So after that, class abstract demo is there, public static void main. Okay, it's fine. Then I'm creating the object of, here you can see, creating the object of obj, sorry, creating the object of B. So class B is present over here. I'm creating the object of this one and giving the reference to the this one, that is B itself. So that means I have created the object of this one. Okay, and in that I'm calling obj.j is equal to 2. So basically j is not initialized here, and here I'm initializing it to j is equal to 2. So that means j will be holding 2 now. After that, what they have said is obj.display. So inside this object, call the display method. So if I call display method, then it will go over here and system.out.println j will get executed, and value of j is 2. So that's why it will print 2 on the output, guys. So here you can see in the options, let me just open. The first option is runtime error, second option is 2. So that's why the output will be 2. Okay, so I hope you got it. Alright, so now let me just move to the next question. What code inserted in the commented region will print I am doing work? Okay guys, fine. So this is somewhat interesting question. So there is commented region over here, add your code here, they said, and you need to insert a suitable code which is going to print I am doing work. So this is the string which should be your output, and you need to insert something, some lines. And what are all those lines? Here it is, guys. So work service obj is equal to new work main and obj dot do work. So basically it's question on the method overloading, I think. And let me just figure it out. Okay, the first thing is that we need to see over here the interface is present whose name is work service. So if this is the interface, means I am having one method which is void. This will be void, and its scope will be by default public, and it will be a abstract type of method, guys. And you can see it is evident that there is no implementation for this one. Okay, so do work is a abstract method which is present in the interface work service. Now class work IMPL implements work service. That means this is inheriting. So the work service is inherited by work IMPL, and here if you inherit the abstract, if you inherit the interface, then you need to override override the abstract method which is present. So here I am overriding public void do work and its implementation is changed. Here you can see system.out.println I am doing work is getting printed here. Okay, fine. So that means the next thing is that public class work main public static void main string arguments, and here I need to insert some code which will print I am doing work. So from this you will come to understand that I need to create the object of this one, that is I need to create the object of work IMPL, and after that I need to call this do work method, then only I will be getting I am doing work. So in order to create this one, let me just match it to the output here. So it is the first option which says it is creating the object of work main. No, it is not applicable here. Then it is creating the object of new work IMPL. Yes, it is applicable. So this I have ruled out. Then here it is doing casting, not necessary. Work service obj is equal to work IMPL, and here it says work main. This is not also applicable, guys, and this is also creating the object of work service. So the answer will be this one. That means I am creating the object of work IMPL. After that I am storing it to the reference of work service. Fine. So after that here I am calling the obj dot do work. So this will be printing I am doing work, guys, right? So this is how you have to just trace the question and come to the conclusion. Okay, so that's about the last question. Now the next question is, which of the following are true statements about interface methods? So there are few statements which are based on the interface methods. So interface method means the abstract methods, guys, right? So I just explained that one. So you need to keep in mind you are reading about abstract here, and abstract will be by default public and it will not be having any implementation, right? So it cannot be static, it cannot be final, because we need to inherit them and we need to override them. So if you know these behind the scene concept, then you can answer this easily. So let me just go one by one. The first option says that they can be declared abstract, static or default. So please choose all correct answers. So there can be multiple correct answers here. So they can be declared abstract, static or default. Okay, so now they cannot be default, guys. They should be always public, because if any method is present inside an interface, its default access is basically public here itself. So that's why the first option cannot be the answer. They are assumed to be protected, not necessary. Then they can be overridden with an abstract method in the abstract class that implements the interface. Yes, and if an interface method is marked abstract, then it cannot be marked static or default. Yes, guys, so this is true, because if a interface method is marked as abstract, then we cannot make it as static or we cannot make it as default as well. So that's why the fourth option is the right answer for this one. And if you just read the third one, they can be overridden with an abstract method in the abstract class that implements the interface. So yes, this is also true. See here, there is one abstract method and there is another abstract method. So if I implement or if I inherit that one, so that means this is also not having any method and this is also not having any method. So there will be no problem. Fine. So that is it, guys. Okay, so finally I can say that these are the two answers, right? This one and this one. Okay, guys. So now, yes, now it's a tracing part. So there is one code that is public class main, public static void main, string arguments. And whenever you are trying to answer these questions, guys, please take a pen and paper and just write down the variables and value of variables. So that will make your task easier. So yeah, there is one question on the exception handling, guys. So there is one try block where it has got one array and its type integer. So it is having a size of 10. Fine, so new int 10. Then array of 10 is equal to 30 by 0. So now this will create a problem. So whenever you try to divide something by 0, its answer will be always is equal to infinity. That means infinite is also called as undefined. That means we cannot say what will be the answer for this one. So that will definitely throw an exception, guys. Now that exception will be cached here, arithmetic exception or array index out of bounds exception, and reference variable is e. So here I am also printing one small message regarding the exception, that is e dot get message. That is just like print stack trace method present in the string class, right? So in exception handling. Now let me just go to the options. So the output says that first one will be the output, divide by 0 it will print. Exception occurred, multiple catch cannot be handled by single catch block. No, it's true, we can handle. Then exception, during multi catch block each exception class must hold its own reference. Not necessary, guys. Array index out of bounds exception will occur. So actually array index out of bounds will not occur because here I'm not using any, I'm not assigning array to any another array. So here divided by 0 error will get, first of all see how it will be happening. So when it says array of 10 is equal to 30 by 0, immediately it will raise an exception, that is arithmetic exception it will raise. So if the arithmetic exception is raised, then it will go over here and it will go to a particular message which is meant for arithmetic exception. So as it is dividing by 0, so in message I will be having divide by 0 as the error. That means you are trying to divide by 0, which is not allowed in Java, in Python or in mathematics itself. It is not allowed, so you can't do that one. So that message will be getting printed on the screen, guys. So in output I will be getting divided by 0 error. So this is the answer, and most of the guys will not mark it properly, I know. So yes, but that is the answer and the reason I have told you. Okay, fine. Okay, now let us solve the next one. So what is the output of given code? Okay, fine. So let me just go to the options first so that you can have a clarity. My exception 3, then caught the exception. Caught the exception, compile time error, no exception of type, my exception can be thrown, runtime error. So basically it's based on the exceptions, guys. Okay, so now what is the output of the given code? There is one class whose name is my exception, and it is extending exception. That means it's user defined exception, guys. Here the user is creating one custom exception and it is having one variable which is int value over here. After that, my exception, this is basically a constructor for that one. So my exception int value is passed as the argument, and this dot value is equal to value. That means whatever the value will be passing, that will be getting initialized to value. And then public string toString method is overridden over here. So toString method will be returning my exception. After that, whatever the value will be passing here, that will be concatenated with my exception, and without space that will be getting printed. Fine. After that, here I am having the main method. So public class demo, so it's public class demo and static void compute. So this is basically a demo class is there, and it is having static method whose name is compute, and it is having one parameter, that is int value. So throws means there is possibility that it will throw my exception as the exception. So this is basically comes under custom exception, guys, and this thing also I have explained. So I will not be able to answer it properly here. I cannot give complete explanation because there are some things which you need to understand before you understand this custom exception. First of all, you should be having a proper knowledge on what is exception, why they are thrown, and how to catch them, what is try catch block and what is try block. So like this you have to understand the basics, then only you can understand these things directly. Okay, but anyway, I will try to explain, guys. If you are able to catch it here, then it's well and good. Otherwise you can watch the playlist, guys, again and again seeing. But yes, it is important, you can watch that one. Okay, so once again, okay, fine. So it might throw an exception, that is my exception, and throw new my exception, and here I will be passing the value. Okay, good. So public static void main is there, then try compute 3. That means I am passing 3 as the parameter for compute method. So here I'll just go over here, and here you can see where is the compute here. So for this compute I will be passing 3. So compute 3. So it will go over here, compute 3, and throw new my exception. So my exception is basically here. I'll just zoom out, guys. I think you are not able to see. Okay, now you can see my exception. It will go to the my exception, and here you can see my exception int value. So int value is 3, and it will get printed. So my exception 3. After that, catch, that is my exception, it will catch, and system.out.println caught the exception. So that's why it will first print the 3 and then caught the exception. So you can see it is properly 100% matching to my exception 3, the first option, and caught the exception. That is the answer, guys. So like this, you should have some knowledge on exception in order to tackle these things. Okay. Now next question, that is, which of the following are checked type of exception? So the answer I have already marked here, guys. You can see SQL exception. So arithmetic exception, it is not known. Interrupted exception, this is also not known. File not found exception, this is also not known, because until and unless you just run your program, these exception will not be known to the compiler. But at compile time, it will be knowing whether exception, SQL exception, is going to be thrown or not, because it will check connection between the see here, guys. So basically program will be there in the memory, and here we will be writing it in the monitor, right? So this is our program, and here somewhere I will be having my database where the data will be stored. So whenever I write some variables, let us say there is one variable x is equal to 10, and I am saying that access this x from the database, then it will check whether two-way communication is possible between this database and the program, because if the communication is not possible, then I will not be able to access the variable which is present over here. So x is present in the database. If the connection is not possible, then I cannot access that one. So that's why at the compilation itself, it is going to check whether the communication is happening between the database and the program. So that's why this is called as known exception or compiler known exception. So these are basically compiler unknown exceptions, and this is compiler known exception. So that's why they are asking about checked exception. Checked means compiler known, and these are unchecked, that means compiler unknown. Fine. So this is how you have to answer. Okay, fine. Now let me just go to the next question, and this is very important, guys, and it is based on the tree set. So now slowly we are moving towards collections. Okay, yeah. So what is the output of the following code snippet? And let me just show you the outputs: A C D F N Z, then N C D F A Z, N C Z D F A Z, and N C Z A F A. So for this, most of the guys will mark wrong answer. I'll bet you. How they will be normally, how a person will be thinking, I'll just say in that way itself first. So import java.util.treeset. Fine, it has imported the treeset package over here. So I mean treeset class, and then public class test. There is one method. There is one class whose name is test, and after that public static void main string arguments. It's well and good. Okay, so now we have created the object of treeset. Treeset ss is equal to new treeset. It is created properly. So now what I am doing is basically adding ss.add n. So there is one tree set, and where I am adding n, then c I am adding, then z, then d, then f, then a, and then z, and at the end I am printing ss. So that means most of the guys will be thinking this will be the output, and believe me, this will be there in the output. So all the NCZD FAZ, NCZD FAZ. So you can see clearly they have given one option to confuse all of you. Okay, so most of the guys will be marking this one. Even my friend said this is the answer. I said, Dabba fellow, that is not the answer. Let me explain. So here the answer is this one, guys. ACDFNZ. And how it is ACDFNZ and how I have omitted this Z. So in order to know these things, you have to listen to this explanation. Just properly listen this one, guys. It's very interesting question. So you will be getting these type of questions. I mean, in each and every, not only in pseudo codes, guys. Whenever you go to face, they will be asking these questions, because this tree set is the most important concept in collections and data structures. In data structures, most of the times you will be using tree set itself. So the speciality of tree set is that it stores the data in the sorted order. So now what is sorted order? Let us say that you are having some data 1, then 10, then 2 and 12. So this is how, if you store the data in the array, then this is how it will be getting stored. But tree set is basically storing the data in the form of tree. That means we will be having root node, then child node, then again child, again that child will be having subchilds. So like this it is going to continue, guys. So this is what the tree set will look like. So what will be happening generally, let us say this same data 1, 10 and 5. So this is the data which I want to store. So what actually happens, guys? So let us see, no, let me just take it as like this: 10, 5 and 2 is the data. Let us see. So first of all, whenever you add this 10, one root node will get created and 10 will be stored here. After that, if you want to add 5, and it will compare the 5 with the root node. If the 5 is greater than 10, it is not, right? If the 5 is greater than 10, if the value which you are trying to add it to the tree, if it is greater than 5, then it will add it on the right hand side. If it is less than the root node, then it will add it on the left hand side. So 5 is less than 10, so it will add it to the left hand side. That means 5 will be sitting over here. And now if I just see, after that, let us say there is another element 20, so that explanation will be complete. So now let us see, 2 is there. If I want to add 2, then it will again compare with 5 here. So whether 2 is greater than 5, no, it is not greater than. Again it will add it to the left hand side itself. So 2 will come over here, guys. Okay, good. Now it will be having 20. So it will compare 20 with 2. It is greater than 20. But this, sorry, it will compare 20 with 2. Yes, it is greater than. It will not directly add here. It sees that there is another element which is the parent of 2. Again it will compare 20 with 5. If it is greater, oh, it is greater, then I need to compare with the parent of 5 as well. So it will check whether parent of 5 is present or not. So parent of 5 is 10. Again it will compare 20 with 10. So if 20 is greater than 10, yes, 20 is greater than 10, and again it will try to check whether 10 is also having any parent. But you know that 10 is the root node, it is not having any parent. So it will come to know that yes, 10 is the last element in the hierarchy and it is not having any parent. So that in that case it will add this 20 to the right hand side of the 10. So here I will be adding 20. So now whenever it is giving or whenever it is printing the result, it will go something like this: left node, parent node and right node. So here I will traverse it in the reading. First of all, it will go to the left node like this, then it will go from left node to the parent node, and it is not having any right node, so that's why it will not go to the right node. And from this again to the parent node, then to the right node, so that's why it will be printing 2, then 5, then 10, then 20. So from this clearly you can see the numbers will be getting stored in the increasing order. So this is how the tree will be working, guys. So this is the working of tree. And this thing also, as I have said earlier in my playlist, I have explained beautifully, guys. So this is just an trailer, I can say. So I have taken 10 examples and I have explained there. So please watch that one, guys, please. Okay, so now that is regarding numbers. So what happens if I try to add the characters? The same thing, guys. Characters, we know that they will be stored in the form of ASCII value, starting from A, which is basically 65, and small v is having an ASCII value of 97 or 97, I think, yes, and 0 is having a ASCII value of 48. Okay, so for 1 it will be 49, like this it will increase. And in case of this one, so and one more thing, guys, what if there is 10, and again if I want to add 10 to the tree, it will compare. 10 is here, so tree cannot allow duplicate values, right? So that's why if there is already one 10 present, then it will omit this 10, it will not store, because already 10 is present. So that's why duplicate elements will be deleted, they will not be inserted in the tree. Okay, so keeping in those things mind, let me just show you. So basically, guys, ABCD, write the ABCD in the ascending order: A B C D E F Z H I J K L M N O P Q R S T W X Y and Z. Good. Z and good. Okay, so just what you need to do is, out of these elements N, C, Z, D, F, A, Z, which is the element which will be coming in the first position. So in the first position, just check A is present in the first position. So that's why first of all A will be getting printed. Okay, A has got printed. So now let me just mark it as right mark. Then again check which is the first element which will be coming. After A there is B, but B is not present here. After that C is there, and yes, C is also present here. So after A, C will get printed. After C, whether check D is there or not. D is present, then D will get printed. So D is also done. After that E is there. In this E is not present. Go to the next element F. F is present, guys. So F will get printed. So right mark to the F. Again, now let me just go to the Z. Z is present or not? No, Z is not there. H is also not there. I is not there. J is not there. K is not there. After that, the element which is present is L is not there. N, O, P is not there. Okay, N is present, guys. N is present, and N is here. It is also present. So N will be getting printed, and N is marked now. So we are left with Z, guys, only. So Z is present here. Once Z will be getting printed, and second time it sees that already Z is there in the tree set, so it will omit the last Z. So that's why A, C, D, F, N, Z is the output. So A, C, D, F, N, Z. So you can see clearly the first option will be the answer. So like this you have to you should know the concept, you have to apply the concept, and you should get the answer, guys. Okay, so I hope you understood this one, guys. Okay, so if this explanation was good, please leave a thumb, guys. Okay, fine. So now let me just go to the next question. Yes, so import before that I'll just show you the output 7151, 751, 75 and 71. So these are the possible outputs. Now let me just go to the question. What will be the result of this code? So the code is something like this: import java.util.star public class app. App is the class, guys, and here it contains public static void main string arguments. This is the main method, and I'm creating a list. That is basically array list I am creating, guys. So its reference is P. It is of type list. So array list is created, and it is given the superclass reference because array list is inheriting list here in java.util package. It is, I mean, it's predefined, right? After that they have written that p.add7, p.add1, p.add5, p.add1 and p.remove1. So here what the thing is that some people will get confused here again. So the thing which is I mean the actual thing like tree set, what, how should you, I mean how you should trace this one. Let me just write it patientfully. I will write, guys. Okay, so I will not make it a hurry of kind of thing. Okay, so this one, just create some array. I am creating. First I am adding element 7. Element 7 will come, comma, element 1, okay, element 5, okay, element again 1, okay. So this is the array which get created whenever these things up to this thing it will be executed. After that I am saying that p.remove1. So whenever I say p.remove1, the remove method or the remove method will be taking index as the input. That means I am saying that remove a particular element in my array list which is present at index position 1. So in array list the index will be starting from 0. So here I will be having 0, and for this it will be 1, for this it will be 2, and for this it will be 3. So these are the index values, and I am saying that remove a element which is present at index 1. So most of the guys will see that okay, it's p.remove1, that means 1 will be removed. Here the one they will remove and one they will remove, so they will mark it as 7, 5 as the answer. That's wrong. So the only element which will get removed is 1, this one, and after that I am having 7, 5, 1. So this is the final output which is getting printed, guys. 7, 5, 1 will be the final output. So now 7, 5, 1, you can see this is the second option, and they have given intentionally 7, 5 because most of the guys is going to answer that one only. Fine. So that's it about the present this question. Okay, 751. I think we are done with the questions, guys. Last few questions. Please be with me. Continue this video. Don't leave it in the middle. Okay, so which method is used by the contains method of list to search an element? So we know that there is one contains method which is used to search a particular method or particular element is present in the list or not. So what they are asking is which particular method out of these four methods is used by contains method. So equals method, hash code method, compare to method, both equals and hash code. So hash code is basically used to compare the reference of two objects. So that's why this is not applicable. Just omit it. First of all, this is not there, and after that there is confusion between equals to and compare to, and both equals to and hash code is also not the answer. So options are A or C. So now keep one thing in mind, guys. Whenever you are comparing two strings, then you have to use equals method. So equals method is used to see here I am having Java and I cannot compare like this. If I say, it will throw an error. Java is equal to Python. So if I write it in the Java IDE or in Eclipse, it will throw an error. It will say, oh, you cannot compare two strings with the help of this double equal to method. If they are integer, 2 is equal to 2, then it is applicable. That means equals to method is used specially to compare two strings. So that means if I write like this, it will be proper. Java dot equals here I will pass Python. So this is proper, guys. This is good because I can compare two strings with the help of equals method. But the catch is that here what they are saying, which method is used by the contains method of a list they are saying. And I know that in list it is not having a rule that I am going to store only integers or only floating point values. I can store any values. The list may contain integer, list may contain a string, list may contain a character, list may contain a floating point value, a 12 point value it can contain. So that's why I cannot go merely with equals to method. So that's why I'm going to go with the compare to method. So compare to method will be used to compare all the things. The compare to method in turn will be using equals to method. So whenever compare to method will be called, it will in turn call the equals method, and then it will compare those two strings which they have given, and it will give the binary result whether they are equal or not. So that's why the suitable answer for this one will be compare to method. Got it? Yes. So now next question, that is see below code snippet and predict the output they are saying. So this is basically on the threads, guys, and you can see code will show compile time error at line 6. Code will show compile time error at line 5. It will print 1 2 3, or it will print 1 2 itself. So let me just trace it. There is one class that is my thread. One second, guys, I'll be back. Just a second. Okay, I'll just remove the charger. Good. So here you can see there is one class whose name is myThread, and it implements the runnable interface. After that, public static void main is there. You can see public static void main arguments. The main method is proper, no problem. Then here I am creating one independent thread, that is myThread, and whose name is myThread itself. So here you can see it is capital, that means it's a class name, and this is the user defined variable. Don't confuse there. And new myThread. So line 5 is creating basically new thread, and it's perfect. There is no error in that one. And after that I am running the myThread with the help of run method. This is also okay, guys. So in declaration and in running the thread there is no problem. Let us go to the main method here, public void run, that is run method, and inside this run I am having for int I is equal to 1, I is less than 3. That means I is starting from 1 and I is less than 3 means it is going up to 2. So in 1 2 there are only 2 elements. So here I am doing I plus comma. That means I will be printing 1. After that I will be giving comma. Then I will be printing the next element. That means 2. So like this 1 comma 2 will be getting printed. So in output you can see the last option. Here you can see the last option is perfectly matching. 1 comma 2 is the answer for this one. Got it? Yes. So now next thing is, guys, which of the following methods moves a thread to runnable state? So now it is also an interesting question. Okay, so runnable state means basically there will be 3 states for a thread. So the first one is waiting state, then execution state, and then dead state. So it will be waiting first, then it will get execute, and once it is getting executed, or if it gets executed completely, then it will go to dead state. So this is death, this is basically birth, and this is life, what if you compare to the human life. Okay, so what they are saying is, which of the following methods moves a thread to the runnable state. Now where this runnable is coming, see here guys. So whenever the birth of the thread happens, that means we declare a thread and we create one thread. But sometimes it happens that due to more traffic, or whenever the CPU will be busy, the thread will not get automatically executed. That means it will not get the CPU time. Sometimes if the queue is too high, though you are ready. Okay, so if I just take an example, let us say you are going to a mall and you are shopping something there, and you are coming to the billing counter. So though you are ready for billing, I mean, if you though you are ready to pay the amount and you want to get the receipt or bill from the guys who are sitting there, but you have to wait because there are a lot of people who are ahead of you and they are also waiting for the same thing. So you need to wait until all those guys who are in front of you will get billed, and I mean they will be getting the bills, and then only your turn will come. The same thing will happen with the threads as well. So at that moment they will be running to the waiting state. So first they will go to the waiting state, after that they will go to the runnable state, and then they will be assigned with the CPU, and then they will be getting executed. So before coming to execution, first they have to wait for some time. Then this is just like red signal, then yellow signal, then green signal. So this is red signal, this is yellow signal, then this is green signal. You are good to go. Fine. So that is what they are asking. So once you understood this theory, see here, notify, this is basically to notify about the thread guys. This is not applicable here. Then wait is basically used to whatever I said just now, to wait, to make the threads waiting. So wait is used. Then sleep is basically to keep the threads in the sleeping state or inactive state. Then suspend is basically deleting. This is not applicable. So the output is basically between sleep and wait guys. Okay, so out of these two, one is the answer. Now what will be happening guys, see here, three threads are there. So first it will go into the sleep mode. Okay, so it will be in the waiting state. Then to go to the runnable state, so to go to runnable state, this is the runnable state, it should go to the sleep state, because after the time is over, 500 means this is 500 milliseconds. So once the 500 milliseconds are done, then it will go directly to the runnable state. So that's why the method which is used by the thread to go to runnable state is sleep. So sleep will be called, and once that 500 milliseconds are over, then it will go to the runnable state. So that means it's just a waiting period or a waiting time. Got it? So this is basically definite time of waiting. But if I say just wait, then it will not be, I mean it will not be getting to the runnable state until and unless it will be notified, because it doesn't, I mean it is not having any idea for how much time I have to wait. So that's why this will be the answer guys, where it is just waiting for 500 milliseconds, and after that immediately it will be moving to the runnable state, and from runnable state it will be getting executed. So this is the life cycle of a thread guys. So this is also I explained earlier, so you can watch the playlist again, the same thing. Okay, fine guys. So after that, next question, which of the following method of array blocking queue class will throw illegal argument exception on failure? So this is simple straightforward question guys. It is a theory question. Which of the following method of array blocking queue class will throw illegal argument exception on failure? So which of these? Void put element, boolean offer element, boolean add element, and none of this. So clearly the answer is void put element. This is the theory question. No need of explanation for this one. Just remember that one. Okay, now next thing is, yes, consider the below code: public class main, public static void main, string arguments, and then there is one stream. Okay, so it is of type stream, guys, and there I'm having a return type, or the elements which I'm going to store is basically this is specification that I'm going to store the elements of type string, and its reference variable is msg, and stream dot of welcome comma to comma Capgemini. So these are the three strings which are stored inside that stream. So now stream is something like a queue, guys, where first element will be getting printed, then second, and then third. So stream is basically like one for loop, I can say, but it is taking directly from the IO. Input will be taken from the IO directly. So message dot for each system dot out, and we have to print it, and message dot for each system dot out dot print. So here the output will be, let me just show the things first. So welcome to Capgemini, welcome to Capgemini, two times welcome to Capgemini, welcome to Capgemini, followed by a runtime exception and compilation fails. So here you can see I'm having welcome to Capgemini two times called here. So first time and the second time. So that's why it will clearly print welcome to Capgemini. Again it will print welcome to Capgemini. So this is the repeated string it will be printing, guys. Okay, so from this you can clearly understand that these are the questions which are asked 100% in the Capgemini. Got it? Yes. Okay, now next question. So which is the combination of the new programming model and extension model for writing test and extension in the JUnit 5? So if you are unable to see the question, yes, sorry guys, because I have taken the photo from they are from far away, so I have kept some distance between the screen and the phone, because you shouldn't be appearing in the camera, right? So that's why so the questions are pretty much blur here, but anyhow I will just read it out for you. Which is the combination of the new programming model and extension model for writing tests and extensions in JUnit 5? So this is also a theory question, guys, and if you just see here, JUnit platform, JUnit Jupyter, JUnit vintage, and JUnit 3x4. So for JUnit 5 the model is JUnit Jupyter, guys. So this you need to remember, just remember this thing. Okay, so after that there is one another question. Which of the following options will not get data from the first column of result set rs returned from executing the following SQL statement? So there is one SQL statement: select employee name, that is emp name, comma salary from employee. So this is the table name, these are the column names. So emp name is one column, salary is the another column. You need to print, or you need to select employee name as well as salary, and assume that table exists. So which of the following options will not get data from the first column of the result set? So I don't want the result from the first column. So first column is basically employee name, so I should not get the data from the employee name. Which of this statement is going to do that one? So rs dot get string 0, rs dot get string e name, rs dot get string 1. So here you can see, so rs dot get string 0 is basically the 0th column. So this is not going to get any data from the first column. So that's the answer, guys. Okay, so after that, which of the following are two correct ways of loading database drivers in JDBC? So this is also pretty much straightforward question. So first one will be a loading driver, and after that driver manager, which is a register driver. So these two things can be used. Either you can go with this one or with this one. So just remember these things, guys. Okay, so in 5 steps it will be coming. And after that, these are the coding questions which I have asked, guys. So for coding questions you can see my other videos where I uploaded these questions already. So you can just see I've got one website as well. In that website I have uploaded the questions. So if you want to get the answer for these, you can check out on the website, guys. So basically link will be there in the description. So pseudo codes are over. This is a descriptive type of codes which you need to write. So see here, like this they will be giving code, then they will be giving specifications, and according to this we need to write the code. So these are the coding questions, guys, you can see, and these are the codes which I have written. So just to help my friends, I have written these things, and yes, they have got executed. So see, these all codes I have written, guys. Fine. So these things I'll be discussing in my next video. Okay, so for that also the link will be there in description. If you want to know more about these coding questions, just check out the playlist. And don't forget to visit my Java complete course, guys. Please watch that one and support me. So that's it in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this session. You have learned something which is useful for your assessments. So that's it in this video. Please, if you like the video, leave a thumb, and if you are not still subscribed to the channel, प्लीज़ अभी के अभी सब्सक्राइब कर दो भाइयों. ठीक है, तो दैट्स इट इन दिस वीडियो गाइस. थैंक यू. सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन.